Oh, hello. Welcome to another video. It is the end of the year. I love doing kind of wrap-up style content. This was the year of a lot of letdowns, a lot of surprising new authors to add to my list of beloved authors. This was just a year of me making a lot of changes in terms of who I look to as an auto-buy author. And so I wanted to ask you guys who yours are and we can chat about them. I think that for most of the people who follow me, we tend to have similar tastes. And so I wanted to see how well we match up. So I asked you guys on Instagram to submit your auto-buy authors and I will be tier ranking them, or I will just be giving my opinion. Housekeeping things. First off, I'm at the tail end of a cold. So if I'm a little stuffy, I am. And second of all, let's do a little vocab lesson. What is an auto-buy author? It is an author that you know and love and trust enough that regardless of what they write, you will be the first in line to purchase that book. You don't even need to know a damn thing about it. I have a couple people here who said that for their auto-buy authors, they would purchase their grocery list. So that is just what auto-buy means. It's no thoughts, just purchase. And I have some good news for you guys. If you like to consume anything that your favorite author puts out, the sponsor of this video will be right up your alley. I would like to thank Masterclass. I have been a fan of Masterclass for years. If you have a person in your life that's like a tricky person to buy for the holiday season, guaranteed there will be something on Masterclass for dads. Okay, but what is Masterclass? Masterclass is a platform with classes taught by the most brilliant minds in each sphere. For my dad, they have like space exploration and actual astronauts teaching you about space. But of course, what I'm most interested in is their absolutely incredible writing section. You can learn about storytelling and voice and humor and just imagination from some of your favorite authors. Maybe you've heard of Amy Tan, Judy Blume, Joyce Carol Oates, N.K. Jemisin. Would you like to learn about fantasy and science fiction writing? She has 16 lessons. Guys, Shonda Rhimes, Billy Collins will teach you about poetry. R.L. Stein, truly the wealth of knowledge. Salman Rushdie, like simply the writing section alone is stunning. So I have a link and a QR code for you that will get you 15% off of your subscription. Masterclass is $10 a month billed annually. Like, can you imagine curling up on a snowy day and having Margaret Atwood teach you about creative writing? And because all the classes are right here on Masterclass, you can take them at any speed that you want. If you just have 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, just pop on a class. Really, thank you so much to Masterclass, not only for helping me find Christmas presents for the tricky people in my life, but for creating such an incredible resource for writers. Once again, that link will be down below, and this QR code, you can get 15% off as you start your masterclass journey. So thank you so much. Let's dive into your favorite authors and see what I think. And obviously, as we're going through it, let me know down below how you feel, okay? So my friends, we have, I believe, 45 authors on this list. I tried to grab the most common ones. There were a few submissions by authors that I haven't read yet, so I can't rank them. But this is an interesting list. So let me go through my tiers, shall we? Starting off with the fries are already in the bag. This is a millennial trying to understand a Gen Z meme.
This meme originates from the LeBron James press conference video. When he's asked a question, he keeps on yapping and he doesn't really get to the point. So when someone is talking a lot and they're not getting to the point, you say, just put the fries in the bag, bro.
The fries are already in the bag. You don't need to tell me about it. I don't need to hear about the book. Just tell me the author's name and I'm there. The money, it's already in my cart. Okay? It's already been purchased. After that is Catch a Falling Star and put it in your pocket. Please get the Princess Diaries reference.
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away.
This is an auto-buy author, however, not an auto-read author. I will absolutely get that book in my possession, but I will be keeping it for a rainy day. I will be keeping it for when I have hit a drought, when I'm in a reading slump, or just when a book I'm too excited for it and I don't want to start it. I have a couple books like that. I'm so looking forward to this that I dread the day that I finish this book because I won't have anything to look forward to anymore, okay? After that is Tell Me Everything. Maybe they're not an auto-buy author, but they are an author that intrigues me, and their concepts are always so interesting. So I will absolutely drop everything to read the back of that book, okay? I'm listening. After that, Having Fun Isn't Hard. When you have a library card. This is difficult because even though I have auto-buy authors, because I just simply don't have the space or the money to be purchasing books all the time, I do use my library all the time. As you probably know, 99% of my books come from the library. I also tend to get books from the library, and then if I love them, I will purchase them afterwards. So this is kind of a difficult one because even the fries are already in the bag authors, I often will first try to get it at the library first, okay? But these are like, it's not a rush. I really want to read them. I'm just not, I'm okay with being on a holds list. Okay? Next here is I Can Wait. I can wait. I don't need to get on the holds list right away. I'm in no rush, you know? But I'll keep it in mind. And finally is the Squeaks No Thank You. Have you seen that meme where it's like, no thank you. It's cold. Ow. Okay. That one. That's what I'm doing. It's not a straight up like, ew, no. It's just a, no thank you. Those are the tears. Those are the tears. That's what we're working with. Off we go. How should we start this? Oh man, I'm nervous. Okay, let's start with a book that I read really recently. Okay, let's start with Emily Lloyd Jones because she's a difficult one. Emily Lloyd Jones is an author. Let's grab her. I will be putting her in Having Fun Isn't Hard because or Tell Me Everything. No, I'm going to put her in Having Fun Isn't Hard. Loved The Bone Houses. I was okay with The Drowned Woods and The Wild Huntress. More people need to read it so that we can have a discussion about it because what she did in that book, bonkers, Emily. She is someone that I kind of thought was an auto-buy author, but her books tend to like almost hit for me. So I'm very much, the second she announces a book is coming out, I will go to the library and I will get myself on that holds list, or I will request that my library purchase that book. I'm not going to run to the bookstore with my wallet for it, okay? But I absolutely look forward to her work. Emily Lloyd Jones. The authors will be down below. Another controversial one. I just want to get the hard ones out of the way first. Olivie Blake, I want you to tell me everything. Tell me everything because she is so weird in the best way. I love, like, the reason I even used the cover of Masters of Death is that this was a book that, God, if you read the back of the book, it sounds so good. Something about like real estate agents and haunted houses and vampires. The only problem is that sometimes her books just don't hit. Like the Atlas 6. On paper, I should have loved the Atlas 6 and it didn't hit. One for My Enemy hit. Alone with You in the Ether did something to me. I'm not sure. So she's an author that like I'm going to shut up if somebody says, let me tell you about her new book. I will be seated, but I'm not. I've been kind of confused by her more than once. So she's in Tell Me Everything. Another person, I'm also gonna have June Her in Having Fun Isn't Hard when you have a library card. I think that the way that June Her writes historical fiction is so fun, and she always finds these really interesting pieces of history to focus on. That being said, Crane Among Wolves was my first book by her, but even though I am so interested in her kind of back catalog, like The Red Palace or The Forest of Silent Girls, is it? For some reason, I find myself in no rush to read them. She's a library queen. Library queen, June her. Leigh Bardugo, fries are already in the bag. Which is weird because The Familiar, I think I need to reread The Familiar, perhaps. The Familiar kind of let me down a little bit. However, Leigh Bardugo is someone I am going to purchase that book and I'm going to read it the second I get it. And I don't know if and when that will ever change, but I love Leigh Bardugo. So she's our first. Fries are already in the bag. Book has already been purchased. Books she hasn't even written yet, I have bought. Okay? Check your bank account. I've already deposited the funds. Next we have Maggie stiefvater. I said it wrong. Oh, damn it. I said it wrong in my video and all these people were like, wow, I've never heard a non-German person say it before. It's not that it's a non-German person saying it, it's that I'm saying it, okay? I'm gonna put her in Tell Me Everything. Maggie of The Raven Cycle. She is actually coming out with her first adult book soon. It's called The Listeners. It is a mesmerizing portrait of an irresistible heroine, an unlikely romance, and a hotel and a world in peril. Maggie is a fascinating person to me. Like, I feel like the Maggie lore deserves its own video and honestly would need much more research before I were to make that. But she's just like an oddball, and I mean that in like a loving way, I think. But yeah, I'm always going to be interested. It doesn't even need to be about the plot of a new book. Like, it could just be anything about Maggie. I'm going to shut up and be interested. So she's a Tell Me Everything, but she's certainly not a I'm running to the store, I'm running to a midnight release. Okay, if you have great Maggie lore, please put it down below. Would love that. Would love to know more. Really quick, really fast, Stephen King. Squeaks, no thank you. I, honest to God, forget that this is gonna sound so bad. I forget that he is still writing books because he's an author that, like, I saw his books scattered around my house as I was growing up. Like, it was just, we had paperbacks of Stephen King in the most random places. And so I just kind of always thought of him as like an old, like, oh, my parents read him. He can't possibly be alive and still writing. He doesn't feel like a contemporary author to me. And I know that's bonker. It's simply a mental issue I have. I'm in no rush to, yeah. No, thank you. Is how I feel. Sorry, Stephen King. We love that you have a corgi. Nothing against the man himself. Just, I'm not running to get his books. Someone I am running to, though, Roshani Chokshi. Even though, and this is, where's my tissue? Tissue acquired. Even though the ending of the Gilded Wolves series was not my favorite, everything she writes, I'm gonna eat it up. And did I see that she's coming out with a new book? Hold on. She writes a lot of children's books. Okay, so far, no news. But you know I'm there. Gilded Wolves, if you still haven't read it and you miss a kind of Six of Crows feeling, she's got you. Best believe she's got you. This one, quite a few people put her, but specifically Elias, Erin Morgenstern as an auto buy. I can wait. And you know what? Lucky to the people who have Erin Morgenstern as an auto buy author, because you're not going to go broke, because she only releases a book once every 10 years. I can wait. I enjoyed The Night Circus. I think if I read it again, I'd like it even more, but I did not like The Starless Sea. I wanted to so badly. I don't even think I finished. I definitely didn't finish it. I can wait. I'm gonna be interested. I honestly don't even need to hear what the book is about because her books are so you got what I'm saying? You got what I'm saying? You know. So I don't even need reading the back of the book wouldn't even help. If anything, it would confuse me more. It would make my expectations just, yeah, don't tell me anything. I'll wait. I'll read her book eventually in no rush. Ooh, you know who hasn't written a book in a while? Laini Taylor. Oh no, she's fries already in the bag. Strange the Dreamer. Actually, Strange the Dreamer was like a Catch a Falling Star scenario where I kept it in my back pocket for a long time to read it once I was ready. But now that I've caught up on her work, any new book she puts out, I'm grabbing it, I'm reading it the day it is released. Okay, well, now we got it. I feel like some of these authors have been a little too quiet recently. Love giving people a break, love giving people a chance to stretch that imagination muscle. But 6 months ago, someone asked if she retired. Oh wait, 7 months ago, someone said that she posted on her Instagram 6 days ago that she just sent in a new draft. Oh my God. So there is something in the works, but it hasn't even been whispered about, right? Okay, nothing yet, but I will be there. Best believe I'll be there. Let's get somebody in the Catch a Falling Star category. That would be Miss Martha Wells. Miss Martha Wells writes the Murderbot Diaries, a absolutely hilarious, delicious novella collection. Short little guys. So damn funny and fun. I have literally only read the first one. I think there's like 8, 9 now. I haven't continued because I know that I will always have a great book to read. You know, if I'm in a reading slump, I'm going to read the second one of this. I know I'm keeping it for like dire times. Martha, I love you, but I don't read you specifically because I know you're going to have my back when I need it most. Okay? This is a great example of my Catch a Falling Star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. Never let it fade away. Martha Wells. Another author that's coming out with something recently that I cannot help. I wish I wasn't an auto buy and an auto reader of this author, but here I am, V.E. Schwab. The only reason I say I wish I wasn't is because I feel like her last 2 or 3 books haven't hit me in the way that I want them to, but I'm still so loyal. And every time she talks about an idea for a new book, I am so incredibly there. Like, what her new book is something, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. It's about 3 young women, their bodies planted in the same soil, their stories tangling like roots. One grows high, one grows deep, and one grows wild. And all of them grow teeth. We have one woman from the 1500s, one from the 1800s, and one from 2019. It's about immortality and hunger, which she loves to talk about immortality, and I didn't love what she did with Addie LaRue, but here I am, wallet out. V.E. Schwab's just got me. I don't know what to say. How about let's talk about one that is a surprise. I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to shock you, I think. Rebecca Ross. Library card. I didn't get a chance to talk about the sequel of Divine Rivals because at the time there was a marketing boycott going on. So I read the book, but I just wasn't going to be talking about it publicly because of the SMP St. Martin's Press boycott, which is sort of the boycott kind of had a confusing conclusion. So I'm not going to openly promote them, but this is a book that I'm not promoting because I didn't like it. I never got to talk about the second book of Divine Rivals, and I hated it. I really was so shocked because of how much I enjoyed the first book. I thought that whatever it's called, I don't even know, Divine Rivals, Ruthless Vows, I thought it was really bad. I thought it was shockingly bad considering how much a lot of us like Divine Rivals. I don't know, it was such a bummer that it shook her out of my auto buy categories and put her in, I'll be interested, but I can wait for a couple weeks on a holds list. I'm not in a rush. Let me know your thoughts because like I said, we never talked about it. I read it sometime last year or maybe the year prior. Did anyone else feel incredibly let down by that book? Because not a good time. Sorry, Rebecca. Sorry, I keep moving around. My feet are falling asleep. Let's do another Catch a Falling Star. Emily Henry. I still haven't read Happy Place. I keep her books for kind of exclusively for airplanes. I don't know why. There aren't many romance books. I think, well, here we go. Let me just put Allie Hazelwood. Damn it. Up at the top, fries are already in the bag. Other than Allie Hazelwood, I'm I'm never in a rush for romance, but let's get Abby Jimenez up there too, Catch a Falling Star. I'm never in a rush for the romance genre. I keep them. I'm very strategic with when I read them. They're kind of evergreen. And I also like weirdly don't have to worry about spoilers. I feel like for other genres, I'm kind of like, oh my God, what if my friend reads it and like we want to talk about it or whatever. With a romantic comedy, you know it's gonna be a happy ending. So I never feel like, oh, it's gonna be spoiled. I'm gonna learn this, that, and the other thing. If other people share their opinions and I happen to see it, because that's another thing where for authors that I love, I don't want to go in with anyone else's opinion in my head. So for authors like, for example, Leigh Bardugo, I wanted to read The Familiar before I heard any reviews. So that's one reason why it would make them a auto-buy, auto-read author. But for romantic I don't care if someone says like, oh my God, this book was horrible. Okay. Like it's not really going to bother me. So those are like safe to just keep in my back pocket when they're needed. Let's go with someone who was probably the number one author on this list for auto buy, Miss R.F. Kuang. Speaking of another Rebecca, I'm gonna put her in Tell Me Everything because it's sort of a situation of I can wait. I'm always so interested in what her books are going to be about. Her new one sounds, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no. Not me talking to myself for a solid 5 minutes about R.F. Kuang. When you weren't even recording, I talked so much that my camera shut off. R.F. Kuang is a person that I'm absolutely going to shut up and click. I immediately want to know what her books are about. I already read this to you, but her new book, Catabasis, noun, ancient Greek. The story of a hero's descent to the underworld. Two academic rivals from Cambridge must travel to hell to rescue the soul of their advisor. Getting there was easy, ... That book, purchased. In the cart, out the door, I'm already at home sitting reading that book. Yes, I'm all about it. But for some reason, I feel like her books haven't hit the way that I wanted them to. Like Babel, I think is important and interesting. Also with Yellowface, I felt the same way. She doesn't trust her reader to pick up what she's putting down. You know, I was okay with Babel, I think because my version didn't have footnotes. All the footnotes were like way at the back of my ebook and I didn't even notice them until the end. And had I read them like with the footnotes, it would have been so much. Like the book was fine by itself, but I think sometimes she like says the obvious and like kind of over explain. Her writing style, I want to love it so badly, but it's just, I want her to trust her readers a little more to get it. Does that, you know? So I'm hoping with Catabasis that she trusts us a little bit maybe. But so she's someone that I'm absolutely going to pay attention to everything that she writes, but I'm not banging on the door of the bookstore to let me in, right? But yeah, apparently a lot of you guys are on eBay looking for her grocery list because you would buy it. And I respect it. Let's do someone who used to be an auto buy. Hafsah Faizal, a library card, I think. I really loved We Free the Stars. So she has a duology, We Hunt the Flame, We Free the Stars. The second book in that duology, fire. So good. And so kind of as a whole, the duology I thought was great. So when she announced A Tempest of Tea, that was a heist. It was like Peaky Blinders, but also King Arthur, but also vampires, but also like a mysterious tea room. Did she write that book for me? I thought so. But I really didn't enjoy it, and I was very sad about that. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna put her, especially for the second book of Tempest of Tea, I'm getting that at the library. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read everything she writes. But I'm gonna be waving my library card, not my wallet, to Hafsah. Nothing but love. But that was just a punch in the gut because I thought that book was written for me, and I was wrong. So let's go for another kind of letdown. Erin E. Craig. She's climbing on my list. So I first read A House of Salt and Sorrow, and that one was like, okay. Like I've said a million times, I would probably like it if I read it again today, but the reader I was a couple of years ago, it was just kind of blah. Loved House of Roots and Ruin. So when I went into A 13th Child thinking like, and I also liked Small Favors. So when I went into The 13th Child, I thought like, yes, death magic, grim fairy tale retellings, standalone, get it. Kind of fell flat. So she has climbed to being someone that I was more like, I can wait. She's getting up there, but she's still sitting at the library card section because she's 50-50 for me right now. And still interested to see what she does, but just not enough to pay for it. Another person I can wait for that's controversial, Madeline Miller. I've only read Circe. I'm keeping Song of Achilles in kind of like a Catch a Falling Star, not because I know it's going to be good, but because the hype is astronomical and I'm not ready. I'm not ready to give my opinions on it. I'm not ready to read it. So she's someone that I can wait, but not exactly with bated breath, you know? Oh my God, why are all of these looking like auto-buy authors? Sayaka Murata is also an I can wait character because Convenience Store Woman was like good, I think, but having heard what I've heard about Earthlings, I'm sort of like, I can wait. Oh, we want controversy. Becky Chambers. Squeaks, no thank you. I really didn't like A Psalm for the Wild-Built. To me, it felt very kind of self-helpy in the way of like, everything felt very, I don't know. I had heard it before. I was hoping for something else. But I felt like it was just kind of regurgitated. Like I had kind of heard all of these things before, all the conversations that these characters were having. Didn't feel new, didn't feel interesting to me in any way. And I feel like that's for some reason one of my hottest takes. But A Psalm for the Wild-Built didn't hit for me, weirdly enough. Let's go Ocean Vuong. Catch a Falling Star. I'm never someone to like run and rush to a collection of poetry specifically. Those are always going to sit on my bookshelf for a very specific mood. Oh, my battery's dying, but I will be paying attention to everything that Ocean Vuong publishes, but he's going to sit on my shelf in a place of honor for a bit. Next up is I'm gonna put Celeste Ng in Tell Me Everything, but also I'm gonna put her in Tell Me Everything. Yeah. Little Fires Everywhere, Everything I Never Told You, loved. It's low-key sitting at Catch a Falling Star because I feel like thrillers or dramas in the specific way that she writes are ones that I can fall back on in a kind of reading slump situation. So that is where she sits. Isabel Ibanez, unfortunately. Squeaks, no. I read Woven in the Moonlight, and it was one of the first books I reviewed on BookTube, so I think I was still very much in my, like, not being critical era. And it was like, you know, whatever. But then I read What the River Knows, and I didn't finish it because I thought it was that bad, which is weird because so many people seem to like it. So I'm wondering, what am I missing? But she writes in a way that is borderline, how do I explain this? I feel like if I were a middle grade reader and I got my hands on this book, I might like it. But she's not writing for middle grade. She's writing for like an upper YA. So if it's like a super young audience reading this and being like, oh my God, yes, and like not really noticing all of these red flags. I mean, I don't like her characters. Her characters are so immature and so infuriating. The plot moves in this way that is just unsatisfying. I don't know. I can't, unfortunately, it just, her work does not click for me. So she is someone I was very excited to read What the River Knows, and that just kind of solidified that not for me. Always for me though, Andrew Joseph White, fries are already in the bag. However, Oh, what's their most recent book? Shoot. Compound Fracture. I haven't read Compound Fracture yet because that's a little bit of like, I'm keeping it for myself. But you best believe I will be purchasing whatever book comes out. Gruesome, yucky, cutting, biting love. Andrew Joseph White. Fries are in the bag. In the bag. Tamsyn Muir. Real quick, because this is becoming a long video. I just posted a video about how much I'm waiting for Alecto the Ninth. I have no more words left to say, Tamsyn. Yes, I'm going to be reading everything that you write. Oh my God, the sun. I don't usually film at this time of day, and I didn't expect the sun to come out because it's snowing. All right, let's keep going. Let's wrap this up. Let's do some controversy. Chloe Gong. I'll put her in I Can Wait, but very close to no thank you, unfortunately. I liked These Violent Delights. I didn't like These Violent Ends. I didn't like Immortal Longings. I'm in no rush to continue anything in the These Violent Delights world, so the Lady Fortune, all of those. There's some secret sauce that's missing for me. Unfortunately, I'm in no rush to read them. I'm in no rush to really know what they're about. Unfortunately, I can wait, but also I have no stake in this game. This one hurts. S.T. Gibson. I'm putting them in Tell Me Everything because the oh my God, this son. Every idea, every concept, every little piece of inspiration that they talk about for their books is so good. Right up my alley. So interesting. And then they flop. They all flop. And I don't know what to do about that. But I will absolutely shut my mouth to listen to what these books are going to be about. And then be like, damn, I know they're not going to hit. You know? So unfortunate. So unfortunate. So like S.T. Gibson should be kind of lower, like an I Can Wait sort of thing. But I can't wait. Because it sounds so good. And then I get pissed off. So sad. Elizabeth Lim is currently at Catch a Falling Star because I loved Six Crimson Cranes and the sequel, A Dragon's Promise. But there is a prequel called Her Radiant Curse, I think it is. And I have heard that it's really good, but I also know that it's really devastating. And I'm just keeping it in my pocket. I'm not ready to do that to myself quite yet. So she's in my back pocket when I'm ready for pain. Thanks, Elizabeth. Sabata here. Purchased. The funds have been sent. I was lucky enough to read The Arc of Air, which I almost wish I didn't do because now I have to wait over a year for the next book. I love the Ember and the Ashes series, and Air it was kind of marketed as like within the world, but like a different story. It's a continuation. Like you need to read Ember and the Ashes to read Air. And I was so happy to be back in that world with so many of those characters, but now I feel empty. So thanks, Miss Taherah. Thank you. Let's get going. Silvia Moreno-Garcia is in Tell Me Everything. I think that all of her books have been so different that I'm always going to sit up and tell me, Silvia. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the front row, at attention, listening to what she has to say. Same thing goes with Emily St. John Mandel. Is it St. John Mandel? Is it St. John? Son, I can't. Tell Me Everything. Borderline, I'm already purchasing the book. Like, I want to know what it's about, but I also know that I'm going to buy it, if that makes sense. Yes. Claire Keegan, already purchased. She had like a very tiny book. I was at the bookstore and there was like this one teeny tiny book. I can't even remember the title of it. I bought it, obviously not knowing anything about it. I just put it in my cart. Physically put it in my cart. Yeah, no questions asked. I'm gonna be reading and buying Claire Keegan. Ones that won't surprise you, so I'm just not even gonna talk about it. Kingfisher, Margaret Rogerson. You don't need to tell me anything other than their names, and I will hand you money. I love them so much. Holly Black. I have nowhere else to put her but in the fries are already in the bag. However, she is kind of in Catch a Falling Star because I just read How the King Learned to Hate Stories. I'd been keeping that one. But in terms of her full-length novels, give them to me. Sally Rooney is now currently at Catch a Falling Star. The only one I have left is Normal People. And I'm keeping that one where it is because I need to pace myself and because everyone has said it's really great. And I trust you all. Hangang, putting you in fries are already in the bag because the wave of jealousy I feel when I see people with the arc of her new book. I see green. Like I am the green monster so badly. I want it. Even though I didn't love Greek lessons, I'm going to purchase everything Hangang touches. Okay? Thank you very much. A case of Catch a Falling Star put in your pocket would be M.L. Wang. I read Blood Over Brighthaven and enjoyed, but Sword of Kaigen. I'm so scared of it. I'm so excited for it. Sword of Kaigen has been talked about so much that I want to kind of distance myself from it so that I can read it without too much hype. But it's sitting on my, I already have it. Like it's sitting on my Kindle staring at me. Someone else who is in Catch a Falling Star just because of the hype and the love that I have placed on his work is P. Jolly Clark. Let's get you in there. I love A Master of Djinn. I loved A Master of Djinn. And because of that, I put off reading his novellas until this month because this month my reading sucked. And I needed to like remember that I love reading again. So I finally read The Haunting of Tramcar 15. I have the Dead Cattail Assassins out from the library currently. But I think he has 2 more novellas. I tried to read Ring Shout, but I ran out of time at the library. I keep him in my back pocket for times exactly like this month when I needed him most. Let's go for Taherah Mafi. I hate this. This is like self-harm. Fries are already in the bag, man. And it wasn't like this. I have to get better at like actually paying attention to my camera because I just start yapping and I don't realize that it stops recording. I was talking about Taherah Mafi. I read Shatter Me because I am a booktuber and I had to read Shatter Me. And then my friend told me to read This Woven Kingdom and I did. And now she's in the fries are already in the bag category. Enough said. It is self-harm. I don't recommend it, but here we are. Lee Mandello, tell me everything. Tell me absolutely everything. I might not be the first person on the holds list at the library, but I'm going to be seated and listening to what you have to say, okay? Speaking of self-harm, Cassandra Clare. Fries are already in the bag. I have no choice. I sold my soul. And I have nothing further to say, Your Honor. Our very last one, because I accidentally added an image in there that's not supposed to be there. Final author that also many of you nominated. My fave, Alix Harrow. There she is. Fries are already in the bag. Yes, indeed. She was actually the first author. Starling House was the first book that I read of 2024. And I thought it was a 5-star read. And I was like, wow, 2024 is going to be an amazing reading year. I'm giving 2024 too much crap. It wasn't a totally bad reading year. It just wasn't the best. I'm working on another video where I'm also doing tier ranking, but I'm tier ranking my most anticipated reads of the year to see how they kind of stood up to my expectations. So you might see a few of these. It's going to be a little ranty, I think. This was mostly positive. I have a lot of authors that unfortunately for my wallet I will buy without question. And I think that we relatively match up. Right? There's only like 7, I would say, that I'm like not even close to being an auto buy for me. Those are my thoughts. This wasn't supposed to be as chaotic as it was with my cold, with the sun, with me not recording things correctly. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Let me know what your thoughts are. Talk to me about Rebecca Ross. Talk to me about Divine Rivals, okay? Let me know. And convince me. Can you convince me to move some of these around, perhaps put me in debt, make me have even more authors that I will purchase from. Very excited to hear your thoughts. Once again, thank you so much to Masterclass. If you want more from your favorite authors, please go check out their writing section and be amazed. I will have a link as well as this QR code. You can get started on Masterclass for 15% off. So many other things, like writing is just the tip of the Masterclass iceberg, okay? Feel free to peruse, enjoy, and I will catch you next time. Thank you as always for being here, and please let me know what you are interested in seeing from me next year, what content really hit for you that I made this year that you'd like to see more of. Yeah, just as always, so happy to be here with you, and I will see you next week, which I believe will be for the Christmas rom-com marathon, which I'm currently in the middle of. And if I look crazed, that might be a hint for what this video has in store for you. Thank you so much. I'm leaving you here. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a great end of the year. See you later. Bye.